against the press conference, and Zelia said, "Don't worry, we're going to qualify." He stated definitively that Fluminense will qualify, that they'll win 3 games now. It's within his power, right? No, but what I'm saying is, he was very emphatic. He said, "I'm not worried. Fluminense will get through." Fluminense has a point. No excuses, folks. Fluminense's group is ridiculous. La Guaira, which is a semi-amateur team from Venezuela. Bolívar, which only plays at altitude, but is also a horrible, awful team. Rivadavia isn't a bad team. But it's not a good team either. I think it's a mediocre team, but they're dominating the group, right? So they're doing well in the Libertadores. But I mean, the game is just against Argentina, right, man? But it's a game against a team from Mendoza, right? It's not a team from Buenos Aires, Cadian. It's a team from the land of wine, Cuti, that plays in a big stadium there, Foxque, which is Malvinas Argentinas, and they're doing well in the Argentinian Championship. I don't know if they won any Apertura, Clausura, or anything like that last year. But anyway, based on the game we saw from Fluminense, there's no way they can be the group leader, man. Fluminense got a point. And yesterday's game is the least of the problems, because you're losing at altitude at 3,600 meters above sea level. More or less, Rodrigo, why?
More or less. I played a game yesterday here with our Mateus, and something I saw at Fluminense, I even heard the sincere ninja, right? Leandro, a die-hard Fluminense fan, commented on it, and he said something I mentioned at the end of the game while talking to Mateus. As for Fluminense yesterday, I understand that altitude is a factor. The Bolivian team is very weak. It's one of the worst I've ever seen, even at home against La Guaira, ever since all this fear surrounding Bolivia, their rise in the Libertadores. It's one of the worst I've ever seen. Man, in the first half, Fluminense just didn't even try to play any football at all. You're talking about yesterday's game.
Yesterday's game. Fluminense yesterday gave up on playing football. They were more worried about the altitude, the fear of getting sick or anything else, and they forgot to play football. Man, to give you an idea, Bolívar made the cross that led to the goal. Yes, they did, but the goal also came quickly. Right? Yes, within minutes. Minutes later, they started pressing. Fluminense didn't see the ball, and that's when Bolivia realized they could score. Why? Because Fluminense was standing still, man. Fluminense was just standing there, watching Bolivia from side to side, conserving energy. God knows what strategy Zubaldia was using. But that's the feeling I got, and some Fluminense fans I had the opportunity to talk to felt the same. Fluminense gave up. They understood that the altitude was really detrimental. Playing at altitude isn't easy. You guys who have been field reporters, who have covered games at altitude, know that it's already complicated for those on the outside. It's tough. It's difficult. Imagine for the guy who's there moving, running, and everything else. And to make matters worse, in my personal view, besides Fluminense doing what they did, the way they acted of not wanting to play in the first half, in the second half, there's a terrible sending off. It's bizarre what Bernal did there. First, there was a play where Fluminense had a good attack on the right side with Canob, who, in my opinion, was the player who fought the hardest on the field, but there came a point where it was no use him running alone. He lost the cross, went back to the defense to recover, and then went down at full speed behind the right side. Guga, who knows where he was. He comes back, disarms the ball inside the area. D in the scramble with the guy there, Aina, he makes a heavy tackle on the Bolívar player. And in this confusion, VAR calls for a possible red card for Canob, and Bernal goes to argue with the referee, man. And he argues with the referee, clapping. He gets a card in this argument. Yes, he already had a yellow. He clapped for the referee. Then the referee goes there and says, it's normal. I'm not going to send him off. Then he claps for the guy. The guy looks at a yellow card and already had a red keep. The headline on Go Fluminense is unrecognizable at altitude, living a dramatic scenario.